Did you know there's a place in the middle of the Atlantic where volcanic craters hold mirror-like lakes, where misty cliffs are laced with waterfalls, and where cows graze peacefully beside steaming hot springs? It's not Iceland, it's not New Zealand, it's the Azores. And for those who make the journey, it might just be the perfect summer destination you've never considered. In this guide, we're taking you through the full experience, not just what to see, but how it feels to be here in summer. From crater lakes and geothermal stews to wild swimming, cloud hiking, marine life encounters, and the quiet rhythm of island life, the Azores aren't just a place to visit, they're a place to reset. But before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more travel content. Let's dive in. The Azores are a group of 9 volcanic islands in the North Atlantic, governed by Portugal, but separated from the mainland by nearly 1,000 miles of open ocean. That distance changes everything. You're still in Europe, but it feels like you've landed on a separate continent carved by tectonic plates and time itself. Each island has its own identity, its own pace, its own ecosystem. But they all share something essential: a sense of remoteness without loneliness, adventure without chaos, beauty without ego. Most visitors begin in Sao Miguel, the largest island and the beating heart of the Azores. Here, nature doesn't hide in national parks or wait behind fences. It's everywhere. Start at the iconic viewpoint of Vista do Rei. Below you, nestled inside a volcanic caldera, are the twin lakes of Sete Cidades. One blue, one green, divided only by a narrow bridge. Legend says a shepherd and a princess fell in love, were forbidden to be together, and wept so hard their tears filled the crater. Hers blue, his green. Whether or not you believe the myth, the view is unforgettable. The stillness, the symmetry, the way the clouds drift across the surface like ghosts. And that's just the beginning. Sao Miguel is dotted with geothermal activity. You'll see steam rising from roadside vents, bubbling mineral springs, and signs warning agua muito quente, water too hot to touch. But some springs, you're meant to bathe in. At Caldeira Velha, on the slopes of a volcano, you'll find warm waterfalls pouring into fern-covered pools. It's like bathing in a prehistoric jungle, except the water is heated from deep inside the earth. Then there's Ponta da Ferraria, a natural ocean hot spring where geothermal vents mix with seawater. Swim at high tide and feel warm currents swirl beneath the Atlantic waves. There are only a few places like this in the world. This is one of them. In the village of Furnas, steam doesn't just rise from the ground. It's used to cook lunch. Locals bury pots of stew, cozido das Furnas, into the soil, where they slow cook for hours using volcanic heat alone. Meats, potatoes, cabbage, and sausage meld together into something simple, hearty, and unlike anything else you've tasted. Pair it with tea from Guarana, Europe's oldest and only tea plantation. Rows of green stretch over the hills like waves, with the scent of jasmine, ocean, and earth mingling in the breeze. Sip black or green tea while looking out at a wild Atlantic horizon. It's not just a drink, it's a reminder that even the simplest things here feel anchored in nature. Summer in the Azores is hiking season. The temperatures are mild, the days are long. The air smells like salt, mint, and pine. Trails crisscross every island, up crater rims, through laurel forests, down into valleys filled with wildflowers. You'll walk through clouds, beside waterfalls, along cliffs that drop straight into the sea. In Sao Miguel, hike around Lagoa de Fogo, the Lake of Fire, a high-altitude lake nestled inside a collapsed volcano. The silence here is so complete, your breath feels loud. In Sao Jorge, trek the Faja da Caldeira de Santo Cristo, a trail that descends from green cliffs into a remote, car-free village, accessible only by foot or ATV. There, you'll find surfers riding untouched waves and villagers living in stone houses that haven't changed in a century. This isn't adventure tourism. This is living landscape. Summer is also the best season for whale watching, and the Azores are one of the best places in the world to do it. Over 25 species of whales and dolphins pass through these waters, including sperm whales, pilot whales, blue whales, and massive pods of playful dolphins. Tours operate from multiple islands, and most use biologists and hydrophones to track the animals ethically and safely. But nothing prepares you for seeing a whale breach beside your boat, or hearing the deep, resonant blow of a creature that lives in the deep and rises only briefly to greet the sky. It's awe, in the most literal sense. Now, let's talk about the other islands. Because as beautiful as Sao Miguel is, the magic of the Azores deepens when you island hop. Pico is raw, elemental, and dominated by its namesake, a 7,700-foot volcano that looms over the island like a watchful giant. You can climb it, a sunrise trek through moon-like terrain, or admire it from the vineyards below. These aren't normal vineyards. They grow in lava fields, protected by dry stone walls. And the wines? Crisp, mineral, perfect with local seafood. You drink it in a tasting room where the Atlantic is your backdrop and the volcano your roof. It doesn't get better. Just a ferry away, Faial is known as the Blue Island, thanks to the hydrangeas that bloom along its roads in electric shades of indigo. The main town, Horta, has long been a stopping point for transatlantic sailors. The marina is covered in hand-painted murals left by crews from every corner of the world. It's tradition, and superstition, to leave your mark. Sit at Peter Cafe Sport, a legendary sailor's bar, and watch boats roll in as you sip a gin and tonic and eavesdrop on stories from the sea. Long and narrow, Sao Jorge is famous for its steep cliffs and fajans, flat coastal plains formed by lava or landslides, where tiny communities live between ocean and cliff. You hike in, you stay the night, you eat local cheese, some of the best in Portugal, and fall asleep to the sound of waves crashing far below. It's solitude, but not loneliness. It's peace, with texture. Terceira blends volcanic wonders with Portuguese heritage. Its capital, Angra do Heroísmo, is a city of colorful buildings, cobbled streets, and plazas that come alive during festivals. Graciosa is quieter, home to a giant volcanic dome you can descend into, where a subterranean lake glows blue from sulfur and sunlight above. And out west, Flores and Corvo, the remotest, islands in the archipelago. Flores is waterfalls, sea cliffs, crater lakes, and a landscape that feels almost untouched. Corvo, with just one tiny village, is for true escape. A crater hike here feels like walking on a lost planet. What ties all of this together is the Azores' attitude toward time. It's unhurried. Not lazy, just deeply, intentionally slow. You eat when you're hungry. You walk when the fog lifts. You nap in a hammock because the breeze told you to. Summer here isn't a frenzy of things to do. It's a gentle invitation to live differently. You unplug without trying. You reconnect without effort. You remember yourself. Not exactly for everyone. There are no mega resorts, no luxury shopping streets, no influencers posing with neon signs. Instead, you'll find cows in the road, locals offering fresh cheese from their backyard, cloud banks rolling in like waves, tiny restaurants where the menu is whatever we caught today. If you want the version of summer that's sold to you in commercials, flashy, fast, and filtered, this probably isn't your place. But if you're craving stillness, authenticity, depth, and wonder, it might be exactly what you didn't know you needed. So, why are the Azores the perfect summer destination? Because they remind you of what summer used to be, what it still can be. They offer adventure without stress, beauty without pretense, time without pressure. It's not about getting away. It's about coming back, to nature, to balance, to yourself. And once you've stood at the edge of a volcanic crater, soaked in a hot spring by the ocean, or watched whales surface from the deep, you'll understand. The Azores aren't just perfect, they're sacred. Let us know in the comments, which island speaks to you most? Or better yet, would you visit them all? Because the best destinations don't just change your photos, they change your perspective. And the Azores? They'll change you. We'll see you on the island.